I always say I feel like a 19th century artist trapped in the 21st century. I will say I'm a very traditional artist. My practice is pretty much based on the sculpture in ceramics and oil painting. But I used to be producing a lot of photography, also animation. But this is what I've been doing specifically in Paris right now. I feel all these explorations are being always connected with creating narratives. So that's why especially stop motion animation was kind of a way to start playing with this idea of telling stories. And then what is happening now with the ceramics is basically the same thing, but on an object. I think it's been a path to explore different ways to create storytellings in a kind of way. I will say I am interested on human history. I also deeply reject this concept of nationalism, like that your identity it's a lock on one region. So for me, arts has been also a tool to explore this potential connection with the human soul. I truly believe arts used to be this kind of spiritual objects that connect us with something else. As a Mexican, we grew up with this deep Catholicism background. So it makes me understand that basically Mexican culture is a syncretic culture created by the mix of pre-Hispanic traditions and colonialism and everything together. And this is an identity of a region. Trying to figure out where is coming from this devotion for femininity goddesses, if we can say it, no, as Virgin Mary. I start trying to understand where is coming from this perception of why we are devoted to this specific character. There is this guy, Joseph Campbell, who proposed this perception of the Immaculate Virgin is actually coming from ancient times, starting with the Sumerians through a goddess called Ishtar. And then Ishtar transformed into Isis in Egypt. The Greeks transformed Isis into Aphrodite, and then the Romans Aphrodite into Venus, and then the Romans became Christians. So this character is being mutating through the times. So when you start observing the objects in a museum, you realize these characters have a lot of connections, in a symbological way, to the representation of virgins now, or what is a Catholicism conclusion. So it looks like these characters are being around for thousands of years. It's just they being dramatically changed through the times, transformed, and even manipulate them to control the subjects of beliefs in the humans. So for me, one of the most important topics that I like to explore is why we believe what we believe. So this is the reason why I decided to apply to this residency, to try to understand where all these things are coming from. So yeah, that's my project here.